What is up, everyone? Welcome to Unscripted Access, episode 173. I am your host, John Macluso, here with the one and only Anthony Ta.
Good evening.
How are you doing today, Anthony? How was your week?
It was an alright week. I want to throw a disclaimer. If I sound a little different on the podcast today, it's because I gave the omnidirectional mic to Bronson, and I'm using a camera mic right now.
And I am on my phone, so apparently
You sound pretty darn spectacular on your phone.
That is
the
awesome.
secret.
Secret is in the gigantic iPhone 6s Plus.
Ooh.
The very overly expensive phone.
Well, guess what? I'm now on an iPhone 6s.
I noticed that. I noticed the fact that when we were texting, my text was coming in blue. I was thinking,
iMessages.
Yeah, and I was thinking, has that happened before? But you just answered my question, so that works.
No, Nick knew I got an iPhone just because I was sending stuff through iMessage instead of the usual phone way.
Yeah, I have been meaning to change that because you're coming through on my phone via like email.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no big deal. Anyway, video games.
Video games, and we actually have some pretty important news this week.
Depends on what you think of what your definition of important is, but I think it's pretty big news.
A lot of news about future consoles coming out.
Yeah, which is always interesting.
Yeah, currently
why don't you
two
go
of
ahead and
those
get us started off, sir?
Yeah, two of those are surrounded by a giant load of rumors, but one that we do know for sure is the Nintendo NX. It will launch in March 2017. So it's actually not going to come out during a holiday season. It's going to come out towards the beginning of the year.
Interesting. But it'll give everybody plenty of time to buy it prior to the holiday season.
Yeah, the other thing too is that they will not talk about this console at E3. They're going to focus on the Legend of Zelda game. They're not going to use E3 to talk about this system. Which I feel like they're going to talk a lot more about it and unveil it through some Nintendo Direct video in the middle of August or something.
Yeah. What do you think about that? I don't really think it's too big of a deal if it's not going to be out this year anyway.
I mean, considering that Nintendo doesn't even hold press conferences or that kind of stuff at E3 anymore, I think it makes sense because what could you really say about the NX at E3 other than show a plastic, what do they call that? A display case, putting up a display case of the system. Other than that, there's really not much that you can do other than put out a display case for everyone to take pictures of.
Yeah.
So I think focusing on the Zelda game at E3 makes sense because that's why you're at E3 is for the games. You can't play the NX. So you might as well focus on what people can play and what they can talk about. And interviews, display case, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty clear on how I'm not going to new gaming after the next generation, so it really doesn't matter to me. A little bit bummed that Zelda's not making it out this year, but it is what it is, nothing us peasants can do about it.
Yep. Wait, do you say peasants?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the PC people are just kind of laughing about it right now. It's just like, oh, look, you console peasants had to put out another game console out early. Another $400. Shocker. Which, honestly, yeah, I'm kind of... From all the rumors going around, if this stuff does happen, it's making me a little sour right now.
Yeah.
It's like $400 is like what I would typically spend on a graphics upgrade.
And that's what I'm going to end up doing. And I'm just going to upgrade my PC every time I want a new console. So you have officially converted me to the master race.
Yeah, it's not even that powerful of a computer, but I think we built it as well as we could given the budget constraints.
Yeah.
But yeah, we know nothing about the Nintendo NX. I know nothing about the Zelda game. It's just like, crap.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm sure we'll hear more about the new Zelda when E3 comes around. So we'll have to see how that is.
Honestly, there's two ways we can be. I mean, I could see two ways of how people are going to generally respond to the NX. It's going to be either mild excitement or quiet disappointment. I say quiet disappointment because Nintendo could be trying to be innovative for innovation's sake and kind of mess up.
Yeah, which did happen with Star Fox. Have you gotten a chance to play that yet?
I played at E3, and I was really concerned about the controls. And what ended up happening was everyone hates the controls.
Yeah.
I also watched Bronson played it today for 60-minute access, actually, and I was like, this looks a little easier and more cumbersome than it needs to be. Like the Zonus level, you still have the spotlights, but the spotlights don't really do anything other than send more enemies at you, whereas in the Star Fox 64, if you missed a spotlight, it basically blocks you off from continuing down the hard difficulty path.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's kind of a bummer.
But yeah, it has been disappointing. Bronson described it as a fantastic game ruined by awful controls.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Who knows? Maybe they'll patch it. We're hoping they patch it.
Yeah, only one way to find out. So, this new Wii is actually not the only console that was kind of announced. I guess this one's still a little bit of a rumor, but what are the other ones that we're hearing about?
Well, there is the PlayStation Neo. Bronson talked about it last week, but the noise about the Neo is getting really, really loud to the point where we do talk about it, because normally I don't believe a lot of rumors because, it's I think that's the nature of the internet, where rumors can just kind of start anywhere. It's kind of like, I guess grade school gossip in a way, but the Neo got really loud. There is a report that, Sony's going to try and say, hey, you can't make exclusive content for the 4.5. You can't make, you can't lock out features that are special to the 4.5. No, this has to be the same game across all systems. The only thing that can be different about them is graphical upgrade, and even then it is not true 4K. It is upscaled to 4K. Which I think kind of defeats the purpose.
Interesting, yeah.
The other thing too is, I think this is kind of a bit of a bad idea because, the regular PS4 version of the game could be barely playable, whereas the Neo version is the one that looks better and has better frame rates. So your developers still. You still kind of have a possibility of screwing over people who have the less powerful inferior system, in quotes. And as a developer, you're annoyed by this because as a developer, when you develop for a console, you know a specific set of hardware, but with a PlayStation Neo, all of a sudden you have two consoles to develop for instead of one. Because of different hardware. You have to tweak for two different systems. So from a developer standpoint, it's annoying because you already got like Xbox One and PS4. Alright, we have an PS4 version and we have an Xbox One version. Now you're looking at, oh great, we're going to have a PS4 version, a PlayStation 4 Neo, Xbox One, and Xbox 1.5 version. Oh.
But the Xbox, the new Xbox One that's straight rumors, right?
At this moment, yeah, it is straight rumors. The PlayStation Neo one's getting so loud that it's getting to the point where it's like, maybe it could happen. Maybe they could talk about an E3, which is, by the way, a month and a half away.
Yeah, it's almost upon us. Crazy.
But yeah, It's getting loud, and I'm not really happy about it. I don't want to buy it either. It's like I can't.
Well, I'm glad you're on my side on this.
$400 in hardware every single year. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point where game consoles are becoming, in some ways they are becoming more like PCs, and PCs have inherited some good features from consoles. So at this point, I'm just like, I would rather just spend $200 a year upgrading my computer instead of like $500 on console hardware every single fucking year.
Yeah, I totally agree. 100% behind you on that.
Yeah, but who knows what happens? We'll find out and see. Tactically, the PlayStation 4 Neo is still a rumor. It's just a very loud rumor.
Yeah.
So speaking,
we will learn about those, I'm sure. If not at E3, then around that time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So what else you got for us?
Since we're on the topic of consoles, PlayStation 4 sold 18 million units last year. Not surprising that it's the top-selling game console last year, but now we know officially it is about 18 million. This is the period, well, it's actually more like 17.7 million for it to be 100% precise. It is between March 2015 and April 2016.
That's a lot of consoles.
Yes, it is.
Well, really no news there. Just more or less super impressive.
It's just more like, confirming, hey, here's a number for, here's a number, a firm number to put. It's just like, we're a top selling system, duh. But how many? 17, almost 18 million. Okay, cool.
Right.
By the way, that's also a lot of PS4 people who may be potentially annoyed by this whole Neo thing, by the way. That's a lot of people. You got the top selling system. Why do you need to do something? I feel like the PlayStation Neo is a response to something. Maybe it is Sony's way of ensuring should the NX come out more powerful, but I feel like they didn't really need to do this. But if they are doing it, I feel like it is a response to something. Something is prompting them to do this early, because the PS4 is not even 4 years old yet.
Yeah, it's still pretty young. So then again, every generation they have released a more upgraded console.
The difference is that this isn't just shrinking a system, this is actual hardware change.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because like with the PS3 Slim, it is still the PS3, it's just smaller, uses less electricity, weighs less, cheaper to make, etc. But this is an actual hardware change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this hardware change should not make a difference, right? Other than graphically?
It should only be a graphical update, but still, this brings back to my point of the issue where you could have a 20 frame rate, barely playable version on the regular PS4, and then the good version on the PS4 Neo. Does that mean you have to go to the Neo now?
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's barely playable, but, then that's going to be kind of like, I wouldn't say Destiny on the PS3, that's too far, but it's still pretty bad.
Interesting. So we'll have to see what goes on there.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out this E3.
Yeah.
So the Xbox 360, it has finally finished its production run. They're still going to make accessories for the time being, but the Xbox 360 system has now concluded production.
Does that make you feel old?
Yeah. It came out 10 and a half years ago.
Oh man, that is insane.
I was in middle school. Ronson was in middle school. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, system had a good run for a little while and did some great things and did some really stupid things too.
Yeah. Damn, that's insane.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite 360 exclusive?
That is a difficult question. It's either Halo 3 or Gears of War. Can't think of any game that Halo, the original Gears of War is the very first game I got into online gaming on. So it holds a special nostalgic place in my heart. But I
Cool.
can't really think of anything else that was really that impacting. When I played Gears of War, I felt like I had to buy Xbox. I don't know. What about you?
See, for me, it is. I would say it's either Halo Reach or or Forza Motorsport 2. Like Forza Motorsport 2, like yeah, its driving is probably not as good as 4, but it kind of had a lot of cool energy, and it was kind of like that thing that introduced me to the whole console racing sim thing, and I was like, wow, that's so awesome. And in the case of Halo Reach, it is one of only two shooters I've really really liked. Halo Reach is amazing.
Yeah, Halo Reach was really good.
Um, Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, I look at my Xbox collection, I looked at it, and it's actually a lot of multi-plats, crazy enough. It's just like, Oblivion, no, that came out on the PS3. Mass Effect, no, that was on PC and then PS3 also.
Yeah, Mass Effect would be the number one game for me, honestly.
Yeah, it was a 360 exclusive for a small bit, and then it got ported up to PC.
Yeah. Man, Mass Effect was so good. It's still pretty solid for its age.
Gotcha. Maybe I should play Mass Effect 1 again someday. I'm playing through Twilight Princess, I'm almost done with it, and it is everything that I remembered and more.
Yeah, so I've kind of been playing it here and there, pretty much between Dark Souls. Um, Man, that game, like Twilight Princess, is so good. I think I can appreciate it more now that I'm older. You know,
Yeah.
because a lot it was when I was young, it was pretty forgetful. But I think that was just because I got so caught up in Wind Waker, so caught up in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and I kind of after Wind Waker, I kind of didn't want the realistic experience. It's hard to explain, but the dark, dreary Lord of the Rings esque Zelda didn't really impress me much, I guess.
I can understand that. Like for me, it's like the other complete opposite direction. It's like for me, it's like I play Wind Waker, and I'm like, I could totally understand why this game is so amazing, but the aesthetic is not my kind of aesthetic. Whereas the whole, again, that dark Lord of the Rings aesthetic thingy in Twilight Princess, I'm like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, now it's really, really.
I mean, like
It's
freaking, like
a great game.
The thing that I look at on Twilight Princess is that a lot of people remember it as a Wii game, a Wii launch title, but I think it's even more impressive when you play on the GameCube. The fact that GameCube could run a game that looks like this. Granted, it's slowed down a lot, but the fact that it ran on the GameCube was pretty mind blowing.
Yeah, the GameCube was also what I played it on. Yeah. In fact, I've never played that game on the Wii.
Me either. And it's just like, how do you play this with motion controls? I'm sorry, but the GameCube version it has buttons.
Yeah.
It has an analog stick. Interesting thing, the Twilight Princess actually runs on a modified graphics engine from Wind Waker, which is really interesting considering they're both on complete polar opposites on the art spectrum.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, so when I was playing Wind Waker, the Wind Waker remake, I'm like, I could totally see how there are some similarities between this game and Twilight Princess coming from the same similar game engine.
Crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I love that game. It's everything I love and more.
Yeah, it's a great game. I'm really enjoying my current playthrough of it.
Yeah. If the new Zelda only comes out on NX, that's gonna be highly obnoxious because it's like, really? Like, really? The Wii U never had a dedicated Zelda game? Okay. Just remakes of 2 GameCube games.
Yeah.
Okay, so, John, are you excited for Uncharted 4?
Oh man, I actually just this morning I fully pre-ordered and paid off the collector's edition. So yes, I am.
How would you feel if some people managed to get it early?
I would feel jealous. Very jealous.
Well, in the UK, Amazon somehow shipped out Uncharted 4 early. And it's also apparently gone out early to some people in Germany and the United States as well.
Those lucky bastards.
Yep. I really don't know how to feel about this. The fact that Amazon's done it is probably going to cause some corporate issues. So basically at this point, basically avoid the internet at all costs with anything that has an Uncharted 4 link to it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like Uncharted 4. I mean, I like Uncharted, but I'm not like crazed enough to pre-order it right now because I know that, you know, this game is such a big deal. I could just walk into any store and buy it pretty easily. Unlike Nintendo. I mean, I know they're going to print a bajillion copies. This is like, you know, the biggest AAA game the PS4 has ever had, and it took them like, you know, 2.5 years to make it happen, but it's coming.
Finally,
yes. Right when the PlayStation 4 Neo rumors get really loud.
I'm pretty excited. That's pretty cool and unfortunate at the same time that people have gotten their hands on it early because now I'm scared of spoilers.
It's also. I mean, I don't even know how it happened, but you know, stuff sneaks out like this, and I'm just like, wow, really, Amazon, really? I guess if you're one of the people who got it early, you're like, yay! But you know, I don't know if you're gonna be like potentially facing any bans on PSN, or if you know the patch is gonna stop you from playing the game. By the way, John, here's another thing too. Uncharted 5, it may be finished, but it won't be finished when you put the disc in because it's on download a 5 GB patch on day 1.
Oh yes, I love downloading patches.
I don't know about you, but my PS3 is not exactly very fast downloading things.
No.
Relative to my internet connection. My internet connection can download like 6 megabytes a second easy, and the PS3 only does 3.
That's a bummer, but I'm also not surprised.
The game has to install and download a patch. Maybe it can do both.
So,
hard drive.
Awesome. I get to buy it and then wait several hours to play it.
Yeah, you buy it and then you gotta sit and wait an hour maybe for it to put itself together, and then you get to enjoy the greatest Uncharted experience known to mankind.
Exciting.
Oh god.
Well, that's a bummer. But again, not unexpected.
Yeah. So that's the Uncharted 4 news. Sticking to the PS4, so hey, PlayStation VR is out. Wait, it's not out yet, is it?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I guess. I mean, it's just I see a lot of people having, you know, VR tools and these VR tech demo stuff out already, so I keep thinking that it all came out, and I don't even know the PlayStation VR is coming out. But anyways, on the PlayStation VR, so Drive Club, despite the fact they shut down Evolution Studios, but Drive Club is still going to get worked on somehow, and it's coming to VR, Drive Club VR, which is going to be really interesting because, you know, Drive Club, I think, has the best looking cars on any console racing game so far. I love the audio, cars are beautiful, and I really, really love Drive Club. And you can also do it with bikes too. So I think it could be kind of exciting because I don't know about you, but if you ever done first person in a motorbike that goes really, really fast, the amount of angle that you're tilting and how close your knee comes to the ground when you're trying to go around a corner that fast is actually really scary. I don't know. I let's just say I have a lot more respect for those sport bike riders who go around the track really fast at that kind of angle, and I'm just like, oh god, I don't know how you do this without getting sick, or falling off, or getting disorientated, or really dizzy. But now you get to feel it through VR.
Wait, that Drive Club will have the PlayStation VR?
Yeah. That's the news story. Is that there's an ESRB rating on Drive Club VR. Whether that's going to happen or not, I'm not sure. But there's an ESRB rating for it now.
Oh, that's super rad, actually.
Yeah. So, like I said, like sport bikes, you can now get really sick. Just mess up. And
nice. That's cool.
Vertigo.
Yeah, get super, super sick riding a bike on that.
Yeah, and getting really close to the ground, going around a corner at really high speed. Like I did it on a regular TV screen at PlayStation Experience, and it was already pretty scary as it was.
Sounds awesome, though. Imagine that, like, driving games would be really cool through VR.
Yeah, you just need a good, awesome set of headphones to, just go like, so this is what it's like to drive a Lamborghini. Okay, moving forward, May's games for Xbox Gold. Let's see, you've got Defense Grid, you have Costume Quest 2, you have Grid 2, and you have Peggle.
Oh, don't forget the Vitas.
I do not know the Vitas.
Oh, okay, I know what one of the Vitas is, because it's an amazing game. It's God of War Ghost of Sparta, which everyone play, honestly.
Okay.
As far as God of War games goes, that one has my favorite story out of all of them. Random fact there.
But I think what's the story of it? Because I actually never played through that one. I just went 2/3 to 1, and I finished 2, and then I finished 3.
Okay, this one is about Kratos' brother. I forget his name. But,
okay.
So yeah, like, Kratos' brother is the Ghost of Sparta.
Gotcha.
I know, it's just a funny play on words, because you would think that Kratos would be the Ghost of Sparta. And he is, but it's supposed to be Oracle. Anyway, great game. Grid 2 is alright, as if I remember correctly.
Gotcha.
That's kinda it. So, like, does this ring well with you at all?
Not really, because I'm not really that into God of War games. I bought the God of War saga, so I actually do have Ghost of Sparta. It's just I'm like, hey, I think I'm done with God of War after going through 3 of them.
Yeah, for sure.
God of War 3 is pretty awesome, by the way. The fact that Kratos just blows up the Greek world. Okay, so hey, you know how I always like to make fun of the fact that Nintendo Nintendo makes awkward decisions like owning a majority stake in the Seattle Mariners baseball team?
Uh-huh.
Well, I can't do that anymore because now they're going to sell their ownership in the Seattle Mariners baseball team. Actually,
I want you to know, Anthony. I want you to know that I thought of you when I read that.
Yeah. So I can't make that joke anymore. Apparently, they own that stake of the team since 1992. By the former Nintendo president Hiroshi Yamauchi.
Huh.
Transferred to him in 2004.
Do you know why they are selling their shares?
I don't know. It may have had something to do with the fact that Nintendo's not very good at making money lately.
Yeah, I was actually kind of piggybacking off of you there.
Oh, okay.
Just because, like, as it turns out, they've seen a 65 or 65. That's just a little higher. They've had a 61% decrease in funds this year, or this last fiscal year. Sorry.
Oh no. Is that their
How
profits?
insane is that?
Is that their profits?
Like, that is a lot of money.
Well, at the same time, though, I'm just like, I'm not really surprised by this.
Yeah.
It's like Nintendo, you're not making money. Your profits are down. Oh, shocker.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, at least I can't mock them for owning a baseball team anymore.
Well, I'm assuming that they are selling their shares in order to counter the very large loss of profits they've been having.
But yeah, I mean,
Or
I think it
attempt
also,
to, anyway.
I also think it, like, at least corporately, that kind of gives you more focus back to, I don't know, games.
That'd be pretty cool. Maybe maybe selling a console and making sure that it succeeds. Good.
Yeah.
I'm a little bummed about the Wii U, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I own a Wii U and I like it, but right now it's like, heck, by the time I buy Pokken Tournament, do I really want to buy Star Fox Zero? And the Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem game, I technically will actually have as many Wii U games as PS4 games. Maybe more, actually, because I actually have Wind Waker and Super Mario 3D World as digital downloads.
I've actually only got I've got Pikmin 3, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Mario Maker, and then Mario Kart 8, and that's all I have for the Wii.
Gotcha.
I have more games for my 3DS than I do for my...
Gotcha. And that's all I have.
I was trying to think of some news I had myself, but I haven't been... Oh, okay, yeah, I do have a couple things. So there's supposed to be a very big Battlefield 5 announcement next week. Obviously, I know this because I'm a huge fan of Battlefield. But word around the office is that it's supposed to be centered around World War One.
Ooh, that's gonna be interesting.
I think.
See how
think
much it sucks to be in chemical warfare.
Yeah, dying of tear gas and dysentery.
No, do you know what also sucks? You unleash that chemical gas, and then the winds blow it back into your face.
Yeah,
that would
I've heard
happen.
About that.
Yeah, that would happen.
It's the horrors of trench warfare, and I think it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out in a new generation console. I think that'd be pretty rad.
Yeah, Call of Duty has pretty much burned up just about every time era. They burned up World War II, burned up, I guess, a bit of Vietnam, and then modern military has been beaten the crap out of, and then near future, and now sci-fi.
Yeah, that sigh pretty much explains how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
that would be very interesting.
Yeah, I think that'd be really, really rad. We'll have to see what happens this upcoming week.
I'm gonna be honest though, when I see pictures of World War I kind of see it as kind of like a mix between like the old types of wars and the new wars, because like the old types of wars, you know how guys like would carry flags and march with the flags and bring out, I wouldn't call it a band, but an ensemble, I guess. Yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
old-fashioned stuff that you would associate with the American Revolution, like all the flag carrying and that kind of stuff. And then, but at the same time, you've got you've got like you still got like front lines. You got like your army line, this army versus that army, two clear sides.
And then
But at the same one, everyone now has all this heavy artillery.
Yeah.
And tanks. So I kind of feel like it's kind of like that interesting mix between what we would know now and what happened way back then.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to play through that or something.
Oh man, I look at World War One. I was like, man, that's gotta really suck. You're in trench warfare. You could die from chlorine gas the next day or mustard gas for all we know. It sucks.
Or even worse, they've had trenches where when it rains, you would drown in the mud.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And all of this, and guess what? How did all this war start? It's because this guy declared an alliance with that guy, who declared an alliance with that guy, and all you really needed was a tiny little trigger, and it just blows up the whole thing.
Yep.
Friggin' history.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see where that goes. Because I'm fairly sure modern war or infinite warfare, as it is known, will.
Yeah, but once you go into space, man, you got a lot of competition out there.
Yep. Battlefield should never go into space. They I guess technically they have actually.
They just go to buy one. It's like, yo, make us space warfare. And they have exclusive rights to all Star Wars games in the future, so yeah.
True. Well, anyways, that is all I can think of at this moment.
Cool. So would you like to know some exciting news?
Yeah, definitely.
We got comments.
Yes, comments are good.
Yes, we got comments. 2 of them. So the first one is from Jonathan. Having played countless hours of Uncharted 3 multiplayer, this announcement is like music to my ears. Plunder is a mode that really lets people shine. Each player can adjust their playstyles, work in harmony with their teammates, a vital key to success in this competitive game mode. Although the team sizes have been lowered from 5 versus 5 to 4 versus 4, I'm sure the developers will make certain adjustments to ensure the experience is nothing but perfect for the user.
And Naughty Dog I trust. Yeah, Plunder's an awesome mode. It really is.
It's capture the flag, right? That's what I read.
Yeah, just with treasure, pretty much.
I think that makes sense. I mean, that's like the perfect setup.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Absentine, in response to Jonathan, couldn't agree with you more. Plunder was really the center of Uncharted 3 multiplayer for my friends and I throughout our time with the game. Can't wait to see it return, and hope the overall structure of it remains similar enough to the original to be near perfect replication of the experience.
All right, we're all
when
in
I get
agreement on
Uncharted
that.
4. 60-minute access, Plunder mode. Team GTA versus Internet. Shit, I wouldn't be surprised if we have 2 60-minute accesses on that.
Have like what, a multiplayer one and then a single player one?
We did it for Halo.
No, I'm totally cool with that.
Team John, Bremen, and Anthony, and one other guy versus Internet.
That would be something. That'd be kind of rad.
Yep. And that's all we have for comments. Thank you, guys.
All right, well, yeah, thanks for commenting, guys. All I ask is that we have more comments. Why? Because we like talking to you guys. We like hearing what you have to say. We like you. In fact, we wouldn't be sitting here if it weren't for you guys. So keep it coming.
Even if you say hi, we will say hi in return.
We will. Yeah. Every single time. 60% of the time, we will say hi back every time.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever you say.
All right. You guys know the drill by now. If you don't, you're about to get it anyway. Follow us on Facebook, like us on Twitter. It's actually the opposite. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Check out our streams. They've been a little bit more consistent now as on Bronson and Ray's, the Senpais, on their end. A little bit not at all consistent on the Shiitakes, but Nick and I will figure that out between the two of us. And yeah, coincidentally, I think the Senpais are streaming right now. They've been streaming Dark Souls 3, which is an incredible game. So check that out.
Bremen tells me it's harder than Dark Souls 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because that definitely just wasn't hard enough.
It's also a lot better than Dark Souls 2, if that's any consolation.
Gotcha.
But, so yeah, I guess that's it. Do you have anything that you would like to add, Mr. Top?
Yeah, let's check out our other shows. 16-minute Access this coming week. I don't know if it's Star Fox Zero or Stardew Valley. One of those two. Check out Super Mario Bros. Playtime of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, because Ray's never finished a 3D Zelda game before. Yeah. Check out the most recent playing guide. It was Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank. Tori drew that, I think. And check out Bronson's Soapbox and his disappointment with the rumors he's hearing about the PlayStation 4 Neo. I think that's our show lineup. Oh, and check out the Gamecast. And the show, of course. You guys already listened to the show, so thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And that's it.
Well,
that's
on
that's
that
the
note,
promotion reel.
Yeah. On that note, you guys have a great week. We'll see you next week. And that's it. See you guys later.
Peace.